My brothers and sisters, today in the first reading, Moses tells the people that God will raise up for them a new prophet. Moses tells the people that after he has gone, the Lord will give them a great prophet from among the Israelites who will teach them his ways. God agrees to appoint one of their own as his prophet. But God also says that those who do not heed or listen this prophet's word, or who preaches a message which does not come from God, or who preaches of things contrary to God's ways, will die. Who is a prophet? What does it mean being a prophet? Prophet is chosen by God. Prophet is the mouth of God. He is a mediator between God and his people. He speaks for God. He works for God. He announces the good news. He teaches the word of God. He also denounces against the evil in society. Jesus is the great prophet. In today's gospel, we see Jesus teaches in the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and he has started his ministry. The first time, according to the Gospel of St. Mark, Mark reports that the people responded to Jesus' teaching with astonishment and amazement. We see the unclean spirits in the synagogue. They were also listening. Unclean spirits are listening to Jesus in synagogue, in the holy place. After Jesus preaching, an even more astonishing thing happens. A man possessed with an unclean spirit calls out to Jesus, as we see in the example and throughout Mark's gospel. The spirits and the demons seem to know Jesus and are often fearful of him. In fact, they seem to understand Jesus' identity better than his disciples. Why then was there astonishment and amazement at his first words here at the beginning of his public ministry? It was common, we know, for rabbis to have followers and to move from one synagogue to another. What was so amazing about Jesus? Wasn't he teaching the way rabbis taught? Wasn't Jesus proclaiming the word of God to his people? Something all rabbis did. What I want to point out is this particular style of speech used by Jesus, and to note the way he taught. He did not say, "The Lord's words for you today are," like we say when we start to read the gospel, like Reverend Deacon Peter, when he read the gospel, he started reading our gospel according to St. Mark. Jesus did not preach that way. Jesus preached with authority. the God who sent me. And Jesus spoke in his own word, own name, on his own authority. He himself is a God. And he has authority. Jesus orders the spirit to be quiet and drives the unclean spirit out of the man. Jesus' ability to heal those possessed by demons is an indication of his power over evil. In the ancient biblical world, everyone feared evil spirits and believed in demonic possession. People believed that demons or unclean spirits living inside afflicted people caused their leprosy, lameness, paralysis, etc. Even in the 21st century, we still believe in the existence of unclean spirits. How else can we explain the sudden explosion of anger that occurs, the suicidal desires, the intensive jealousies, wild fantasies, or overpowering feeling of depression? We as human beings are keenly aware of these unclean spirits. We often wonder where the unclean thoughts come from and why we can't rid ourselves of them. It's a sad story. We see good people addicted to drugs, addicted to all kind of inappropriate, often destructive behavior. And with good reasons, we ask, what got into them? Surely they knew better. Why did they let this happen? In Jesus' time, they might have answered it this way: they were possessed by a demon. The demonic cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth?" What does Jesus have to do with these unclean spirits that live in each one of us? The answer we find in the gospel is equally true today. Jesus came to drive out the unclean spirits living inside of us. That's one of the reasons why Jesus came to earth in the first place, and one of the reasons why he continues his presence in our lives. Jesus came to drive out those unclean spirits within us, to wash them away, to cleanse our lives of them. Let's put ourselves under his authority, and he will liberate us. He will free us. The evil spirit in today's gospel recognized Jesus as the Messiah and acknowledged him as such. Jesus commanded the evil spirit by using strong words. Be quiet. Come out of him. Through word and sacrament, Jesus brings that power to us and says the same words to the demons in our life. Be quiet. Come out of us. Not just once, but as often as we need to hear them. until finally we are free from these demons entirely.